Hello everyone, this is Santiago Vasquez.
And I'm Martin Cervantes. Welcome to the Dot Pod.
Where communication truly
matters.
Truly matters.
Yes.
And today we're going to have a very special day. We have a special guest, but before we go into our special guest and introduce himself to you, today is a beautiful day in the neighborhood, like Mr. Rogers used to say.
Yes, and it is a sunny day, sunny afternoon, Easter weekend. You know, we're celebrating. As Christians, we're celebrating the death and resurrection of our Savior,
Our Lord Yeshua Mahashiach, also known as Jesus Christ. What a beautiful name, Yeshua.
Amen.
Yeshua Mahashiach, Jesus the Messiah. So with that in mind, now let's introduce our special guest. Today with us we have Officer P.J. Locke with an E at the end. However, I was just told that the E is silent. Okay?
Very silent.
So would you please, before we start, let's give a great round of applause to Officer Locke.
Thank you.
Okay, can we call you PJ?
Sure.
Let's just think that is that for PJ for,
Patrick Joseph.
is that, I thought they were junior.
No.
You don't look like a junior to me.
So that would be PJJ, Patrick Joseph Jr. No, it is an honor to have you here. Thank you for accepting our invitation. You know, we just want to keep people informed of what's happening in Wyandotte County, the things that are available to us, to the community, to the youth especially. And because of what you're doing, I know you have a lot to offer to our youth.
And it's all about being positive. If whatever is negative, we're not going to talk about it. That's our promise to you. We don't want to get into any type of controversial issues. We want to present to you with the great gifts that we have in our community.
We are not politicians, so we will not be talking about politics, right?
However, you know what? I believe it was Plato, the great Greek philosopher, said that if you are called to govern, and if you don't answer that call, your punishment will be to be governed by those who are inferior to you. That's a great quote.
Yeah.
I memorized it a long time ago when I was in high school. I was forced to take that history class anyhow. So, okay, so we can call you PJ, right?
Sure.
PJ, would you please tell us a little bit about your cultural background and your ethnicity?
Well, my dad is Croatian and German.
Wow.
And my mom is Irish and what she thought was a little bit Native American until we did the DNA testing and blew everybody's minds. So my dad's 40% Russian and 60% Croatian. No German. My mom has more German and Scandinavian in her and hardly any Indian. So that was a shock to her. I feel a little bad we did it to her. So.
Hey, it happens all the time. So, but it's great. So, you are a police officer with the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department.
Yep. Since 2003, I started as a police cadet, and then in 2005, I was sworn.
You were a cadet.
I was.
I felt so sorry for you.
Right.
If you were a cadet, that meant you were in purgatory, paying for the sins of the world. Cadets make the best police officers in the police department, by the way. And I don't mean that because I had a chance to work with him long ago. So
Why a police officer? Why not, a football player, a basketball player? Why not, a teacher?
Or a doctor, for that matter.
Yeah.
Right. So I had a lot of options I could take. So I grew up in KCK in Wyandotte County. I grew up at 41st in Georgia.
Original Dot.
Original Dot.
41st in Georgia.
Yeah. So my dad was a police officer. He started in 1972. I always had that I want to be like him type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be a cop. Bad guys chase them down, all that fun stuff. And then once I started getting to be more athletic, I wanted to go the football route. And then in high school, I sustained...
Athletic, let me...
Listen, tuck it in. Again, tuck it in. Last week you did it again now.
So I put a lot of effort into the weight room in high school, and a series of injuries prohibited me from chasing that any farther. So the next step was I was going to enroll in fire school and take those classes at community college and become a fireman. And then at the last second, I decided it'd be much cooler to carry a gun. So
Okay.
Well, and you know what?
So much cooler to serve and protect.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
To serve.
and we're blessed to have you as a police officer in our community.
Yes.
Right.
Nothing
Yes.
bad about firefighters, anything like that. We thank you all
We
for
love
your
you.
service, but he has made and he's making a lot of difference in our community. So we thank you for that. We're blessed to have you as a police
I
officer.
appreciate it.
So where did you go to elementary school, middle school, high
So I
school?
went to John F. Kennedy at 72nd Parallel, and then I transitioned from there to St. John Holy Family, which is downtown off 4th Street.
Okay.
And then from there I went to high school at Bishop Ward.
Bishop
Cyclone,
Ward High School. I was the school resource officer at Bishop Ward High School for 8.5 years.
And that's when I first met you.
Yes.
Because of my son.
Yes.
Who went to Ward. Yes.
And Ward High School has produced some of the best police officers that I know, and also firefighters.
Yep.
Incredible people there at Ward High School. So we're very grateful to have the only, and this is not a commercial for them, but it is the only Catholic school in the inner city throughout
Yes.
the metro area,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken. Now, so you graduated from Ward High School, and immediately you applied for the cadet program.
Yep. So I had enough credits my senior year to not have to take I could have took my college classes my senior year. Instead, I went to Votech school. So I originally was planning on being a fireman, so I wanted that backup job. Most firemen have 2 jobs, so I figured working on cars and doing body repair was right up my alley. So my dad did that work on the side. So
You can always come to my house and repair my little car.
Got a couple of cars here. Got to take a number.
So I got post certified in that, and then I ended up working at 13th and State with Jerry Vest.
Oh, yeah.
So I worked there for about a year and a half and realized my knuckles were sore every day. I couldn't get the grease out of my fingernails, and I applied to be a police cadet, was accepted, and that was the last time I did hard labor. At least I thought. At least I thought.
You were 19 or 20?
I was 19.
19.
Yep.
Okay, so now you mentioned that your father was also a police officer.
Correct.
And how many years did he work for the community here in
He did
Kansas City?
25 years.
25 years, and then retired.
Retired in 1996.
Oh, wow. Oh, so he retired 4 years. 4 years after I came on. Wow, that's amazing. I probably, sometimes our memories are no longer as great as they used to be.
Are you the only police officer in your family now, or?
I'm the only Kansas City, Kansas
Okay.
officer. We have a deputy, our cousin that's a deputy. He's a sergeant of the sheriff's department.
That's great.
Robert
That
Browns.
is-
So he's
Okay.
my first cousin. Yeah.
Okay.
That is amazing.
I guess I'll claim him.
Okay, so you become a police officer, and you become a cadet, you become a police officer at the age of 21. And tell us a little bit about your police career. What have you done within the police department?
So I did my first couple years in Turner.
Okay.
I did that area specifically. I liked chasing down the guys that were selling methamphetamine and destroying the community. That was my thing. Like, if there was a meth house in the area, I knew about it. If there was like a meth problem, I was on top of it. So I did that for 2 years, and then between doing that, you had to answer calls, domestics and burglaries and auto thefts and car accidents. And I was like, man, I wish I could just focus on that. And a spot opened in nighttime community policing, which no longer exists, but it was there, and it was pretty much a fugitive apprehension unit, drug shutdown unit. So I bid into that, and then I worked there for 4 years. And then I wanted to take it to the next level, so I went to the SWAT team, which was called SCORE at the time, and then I spent 5 years in SCORE on the SWAT team. And then I decided I wanted to get out of that. So attached to a pager is not fun when you get paged out at 2 in the morning or 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
You had an hour of sleep, and then you spend 10 hours on a barricade. And I was like, it's time for a younger kids game for that stuff. And then I went back to the streets, went on midnights, ended up having a foot chase with a triple homicide suspect, and blew out my knee. Sat at the report desk for 16 months.
Oh, wow.
And then
I'm going to assume those were the longest 16 months of your career.
the report desk isn't very fun. So.
Not when you want to be in the action.
Right, not when you always want to be on
Nothing
the
wrong
desk.
with being behind the desk,
Right. No.
A lot of people don't realize, they think that police work, I look at police work, it's almost like when you're a baseball player. You get on the field, you go back to the bench. but you got to be paying attention to the game. You're driving a car for 8 hours and 15 minutes, and you got to be paying attention to what's going on out there. I was just telling a friend of mine today that during the winter time, and I know you're familiar with this, you crank that heat, you roll the windows, because you want to hear what's going on out there. You want to be aware if somebody's screaming, calling for help, yelling for help, or shots fired.
Right.
And in the beginning, when the veterans are telling you that, you're like, huh? Don't worry about it. You're going to be able to listen to the police radio, their regular radio. You're going to be answering the phone at the same time, and the police radio. Yep. And drinking coffee on top of that. Right. And you only have two hands, by the way. So, and injuries take place. You get a call, you jump out of your car, and all of a sudden, there went my back, my knee, classical example, shoulder replacement on duty, both of my knees operated on, and I stay in shape. You try to stay in shape, but we also know that, and we won't get in depth with this, but there's a lot of psychological impacts that we go through as police officers. So what we see.
I'm going to assume you stay in shape. You work out.
I try. You see what he did?
Well, yeah.
Like, look at my pectoral muscles.
Do you see how I kind of like greet him at the door? Like,
did you see what I did?
Right.
Please, Lord, don't let it go anymore.
No, you guys work out, stay in shape, and then after your knee felt better, you went back on the street.
Well, I went and saw Chief Terry Ziegler at the time and told him the situation, and I told him I was going to take my medical retirement. Is what I told him. And he said, "Hold on, I think I got a spot coming open if you can tough it out another 3 or 4 months." Which was the police athletic league. So I toughed it out 3 or 4 more months on the street, and then put my bid in for that, and started that in January 2019.
There you go. So now, this is the reason that we are here. We're going to talk about PAL, which stands for Police
Athletic League.
Athletic League. So tell us a little bit about this program. And we were talking about former Chief Terry Ziegler, who decided to include this program as part of the Kansas City Cancer's plethora of duties that that the Kansas City, and I say we because I used to be a police officer, that the police department tries to do in order to bring a positive influence in our community. Tell us a little bit about that. How did we get to this program?
So how it kind of started was Matt Tomasic is our director and owner of the building.
Yes.
He's a former Ward graduate.
And a former?
Yep.
And a former police
officer from Kansas City, Missouri. So he spent a lot of his time in Kansas City, Missouri being involved in community policing and community stuff. The CAN Center, which was, they brought homeless people in, got them jobs, fed them, and did all that stuff. He participated in their police athletic league over there. He grew up on Strawberry Hill. His parents still grew up on Strawberry Hill. And he said, there's nothing for the kids to do down here on Strawberry Hill. So he had this idea. He said, we need to bring this here. We need something for these kids to do. And then the brainstorm started. Chief Ziegler got involved and ultimately made it happen, which was probably the best decision the department's ever made.
As a matter of fact, that Matt's father was a district attorney for well over 30 years.
Yes. How hard was it for you to get PAL off the ground?
So we talked about the challenges of getting the kids in there. We promoted it on Facebook, and we promoted it we didn't go to any schools. That was one thing that we were anticipating on doing, was going to each public school, middle school, high school, and promoting it. We haven't done that one time. 0 times have we done that.
Wow. Is that by choice or?
It's because it has snowballed so fast. So we
started.
started. Oh wow! Our opening date, I think we had 30 kids there, and then that was our soft opening. And then the next month, our grand opening, we had about 45 kids there. And then a month down the road, we're 100 kids signed up. 2 months down the road, we're at 200 kids signed up. Right now, we're just under 1,000 kids signed up.
Wow, man!
Yes.
Woo! And this is just word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yeah, I'm not going to expand or talk about your program. I know what you guys do, but I do refer young men to your program because I'm in all the schools here in the school district, Kansas City, Kansas. So I do tell them, go there because this is what they want to do. They want to do this, they want to do that. I said, go there. Tell them that I sent you. Not just because it's me, but because, we have a relationship.
exactly.
So, it is a program that will help our kids when they need it the most. And I know you work with a lot of them already.
Okay, so now tell us where you are located.
So we're located in Old St. Mary's Church, which is on the top of 5th and Ann. So 800 North 5th is the exact address, but it's around the corner of 5th and Ann. You can't miss the gigantic stone church.
Building, yes.
Okay, so what activities, what sports are housed at this location?
So we have a core group. So art, boxing, and gardening are our 3 core activities. Those are going on.
Repeat that again, please.
Boxing, art, and gardening.
That sounds like the samurai way.
Yeah.
You have to be an expert in the martial arts, you have to be an artist, and an expert in flower arrangement.
Wow.
And poetry, and
Wow.
the tea ceremony, by the way. To be a complete martial artist. Tea ceremony. Yes, sir. Tea.
Okay.
Where the pinky is pointing up straight to the heavens.
Hold on. Let me practice here. No, it's going to be too hard. It's too heavy. It's too heavy.
That is amazing.
Right.
Okay, so you have boxing.
Boxing.
Let's talk about one at a time. Tell us about the boxing program.
So boxing started out with our professional boxing coach who's retired, Lalo Robles. He was kind of like
Lalo.
us.
Ward High School.
He went to Bishop Ward. He did.
Here we go. Ward High School.
So he fought professionally. He fought the MGM Grand. He fought in Las Vegas. He fought on HBO.
He
Fight.
fought as an amateur, golden gloves, silver gloves, and all that.
He did all that too. So he's kind of like a local celebrity among all the boxing community and the Hispanic community downtown. And that was our initial draw. The kids wanted to come box with Lalo. So,
Wow.
After that, it started getting too big. We needed more than Lalo. Lalo reached out and brought some of his volunteers with him that was helping him box. So we used them to help expand the program. And then right now we hire Memo Garcia, which is fantastic. I think he was with Greg Controlla down at the original.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So he does great with the kids. And then we just hired Lydia Rios. She is a 4-time national title holder from Mexico. She's on the Mexican national team.
Oh, wow.
And she's up here and just kind of overheard, popped in. We said volunteer for a little bit. She volunteered, and now we hired her full time. So she's up there every night also. So we have 2 male coaches and a female coach, and they do fantastic.
Having a female coach, did that bring more of our young ladies in the community?
So we were about 1/3, which was pretty surprising with just Lalo and Memo, and then with Lydia came in, we're I wouldn't say we're half, but we're getting close. I mean, she'll have a group of 20 girls a night.
Good.
Doing stuff.
Wow.
So what are the hours for the boxing gym?
So we open the doors at 5. Coaches don't get there till about 6, but I told them, hey, come on in, I'm here. Setting up the gym. You guys can get some cardio in, we have some weights now, so we let them do some weights, get some cardio.
Can you tell they have weights? You say that? I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all
So we make
right.
them run around the building. We make them, or if we usually have some stuff to help carry or stuff like that.
So you start at 5 o'clock.
Start at 5
And
o'clock.
then the boxing classes end at what time?
They end at 8. So
8 o'clock.
6 to 8.
Yep.
So is it like time specific? Kids can come from 5, let's say 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8. How does it work?
Correct. So right now it's come as anytime you want, Monday through Thursday, 5 to 8. You can come any day, anytime. You don't have to be there every day. You don't have to be there the whole time. You can come in for 30 minutes. You can come in for 45 minutes, or you can come in for the full time. So we have boxers that are competitive boxers. We've taken them and we pay for them to go to competitions. We have.
Hold on. Can you say that again? You guys pay?
We pay
No, wait. Pay for them to compete.
to compete.
I mean, you pay for the transportation, the equipment, and things like that.
That's right.
That doesn't mean that they are professional fighters and they get a salary.
No.
But I think that's one of the things that is holding our community back. Like,
Yes.
I don't have money to send my kid here. I don't have the money for him to get the equipment or transportation. So that's
a
something
big
that you
deal.
guys offer.
Wow.
So parents, come on.
Yep. So if they want to get competitive, we'll help them get competitive. And then,
Wow.
Nice.
So we have about 15 kids that are competitive. Several are already Golden Gloves champs, Silver Gloves champs.
Wow.
We have a couple kids that come and they're about to be on the U.S. Olympic team. So COVID kind of ruined that.
Wow,
amazing.
wow. Yes.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yep, and they're 16, 17-year-olds, so they're in our target group.
That is incredible.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
A lot of the kids that we work with and some of the kids that you have been in trouble in the past. whether it's drugs or gangs or not going to school. Are any of these kids going to the Olympic team?
Are they? Let's put it this way: what does it take to qualify to be part of the boxing? Is there some type of a qualification that you need to be part of the boxing club?
So we are going to make you maintain a 2.0 GPA average, which isn't
That's
tough.
not bad.
That's not tough, and we have the resources to help keep them there. Otherwise, they have to just show up. They have to complete the training, make sure they're being safe, make sure they're keeping their hands up, make sure they're throwing the punches the right way. So we're just not going to throw anybody in there and let them get beat up or hurt. So we take safety pretty seriously. But they have to do a series of sparring lessons. Lalo will have to give them the okay. And once Lalo gives them the okay.
What if any of these young men are on probation? Do that disqualify them from the program?
Not at all. So we have a lot of kids that are on probation, and we kind of treat it as good old-fashioned mentoring. You sit them down, you talk with them, and then you kind of steer their path the best you can.